TGIF this week. This week. I don't know. It's been quite the crazy week, although it's been quite the crazy few months. What are we gonna do? We're gonna drink wine. That's what we're gonna do. I'm Melanie, and I'm joined again here this week with Bronny and Vinny, sleeping as they usually do. And we're here just to tell you a little bit about who we are and what we do and why we do what we do. We're Nectar of the Dogs Wine. We are a wine company that was founded in 2015. It was inspired by the love of our four-legged angels who passed onto the Rainbow Bridge and our love of wine. We wanted to create the company and create easy drinking wine for lots of people to enjoy so that we would be able to sell lots of wine and give back to dog rescue organization. That's really at the heart of what this company is all about. If you have joined us here, or if you've had our wine, or if you haven't had our wine, you'll see that there's dogs on all our labels. All the dogs on the label did belong to us. There are 9 in total. These 4 that you see here, this is Connie and Clyde and Floyd and Mika. These are the dogs that belong to my husband and I, and these are the dogs that changed my life and really the inspiration for the company. So I encourage you to go to our website, nectarofthedogswine.com, and learn a little bit more about these wonderful pets that I had, my fur babies, and of course learn about the wine too, and learn a little bit more about who we are and what we do. Now, here at Nectar of the Dogs Wine, we like to say it's not really drinking alone if your dog is with you. Case in point, here are my dogs, here is my wine, and we do a lot of drinking together. Obviously, in light of COVID, we aren't able to spend a lot of time with our two-legged friends. So I wanted to bring Monica on over in Northridge and see what's going on. Happy Friday, Monica, TGIF.
Happy Friday, TGIF. Although, I don't know, every day seems like a Friday these days.
Every day does seem like a Friday. Wow, we this is our 12th one. Can you believe that?
I can't.
I can't either. We started this, our first one was back April 3rd, and back then we had just gone on lockdown and we were all drinking at home anyway, having virtual Zoom happy hours. And so I have the fortunateness, I guess. My husband owns a production company and a lot of gear, and we thought, what if we do this wine time and we are able to feature different organizations and just drink for a great cause. So
and it's taken off, and it's been a lot of fun.
It has, yeah, it really has, and we've featured some of our longstanding partners, such as All American Dachshund Rescue, Bark Party, SPCA LA, and this organization that we're going to meet here in a few minutes. And we've also made some new friends, right?
Yeah, a lot of new friends. Live Love Animal Rescue, Love at First Mutt, Good Sense Dogs. We just talked to Canine Youth Alliance last week, which was a great organization. Lots of good ones.
Lots of good ones. And the good thing is that since we don't have a tasting room, we really rely a lot on events to kind of share our wine with people before they find out how great it really is and become wine club members. But in light of COVID, all of our events got canceled. So this is another reason why we were doing the wine time. But we have been able to sell some wine, which has been really great because that means we have been able to give back. And I'm really excited that we have followed through with our promise. We've given donations to the, I guess, 11 organizations we've featured so far.
Yeah.
This is week 12. So that's good. It feels good to not only drink for a great cause, but to be able to give back. Monica, what are we drinking tonight?
Well, tonight, Melanie, we're drinking our only wine from Paso Robles, our red blend, the CCF McMurphy. So good. And if you're curious as to why red wine tastes so good with steak, it's because red wine, like our CCF, is high in tannins, and tannins act like little scrapers on your tongue for fats and proteins. And, steak is higher in fat and protein, so it needs a wine with those higher tannins, like our CCF. And it just goes so good with it. I'm craving steak now.
I really love these tidbits of information that you've been supplying us with on a weekly basis. It's really, it's interesting. I think sometimes people can be really intimidated by wine. And, I've been drinking wine for a long time. I think you have too. And that's really just the fun of it, just to try different wines with different foods. And yes, there are certain wines that pair better with specific types of food, like what you just mentioned.
Yeah. But what I love too is like every time somebody takes a sip and tells you what they taste and what they smell, and that the aromas and the flavors are always different, I think, across different people.
It's true. It's true. And now you did mention that our CCF McMurphy, right now it's our only red blend, and it is from Paso. We did bottle a Cab Franc right about the time we bottled this one, but we sold out of that because that was extremely limited edition. We only did, I think, 21
And it was
cases.
so good.
So good, so good. So I think only wine club members are exclusive to that now. But yeah, this wine, we sell it for $43 a bottle. And since we started this back in April, I've been offering 30% case discounts. Obviously back then to try to help stimulate the economy, help us sell some wine, and try to help people out there who maybe wine wouldn't be their first choice for discretionary income. But that special is going to go away at the end of June. So I encourage people to go to the website and check it out and order your wine.
I feel like since quarantine, wine has really gone up at the top of the list of a lot of people's priorities.
I'm going to agree. I'm going to agree with that. So yeah, and this is McAdoo here. Tell us a little bit about McAdoo.
McAdoo, we got McAdoo from Chiquita's Friends, the event that we did with Cornell Winery, where we do have distribution in the tasting room and in the retail space. Yeah, that was a fun little event, and that's where we met Geraldine, and we just fell in love with McAdoo pretty quickly. He's a fun little guy, very sweet, very energetic.
We were supposed to have our guest, Guide Dogs of America, on, I think it was 3 weeks ago. And that was the first and only time that we had major technical difficulties. We went through rehearsal today. Everything was fine. And little gremlins are out there doing something. So we'll get through this.
Guide dogs, it's too much to handle. They're too good.
That's why there's wine. So as I was saying, I'm not sure how far I got, but we sell the CCF McMurphy for $43 a bottle. Right now we're doing 30% case discounts. You can go to the website. You can order a single varietal case. I have mixed cases on there. And if you see something on there, if you want to maybe order 6 bottles, I'll maybe give a 15% discount for that. So reach out to me, Monica. We want you to get some wine. And I think I was saying how cute McAdoo was there with the CCF. How's McAdoo?
He is great. He's sleeping right here in his crate. He likes to just be close to me while I'm doing these. He doesn't like to be on them. He's very shy.
Unlike Bronny and Vinny, the pros
Unlike
now.
them too. Yeah. The stars of the show.
The stars of the show. Yeah, so you were saying that McAdoo actually came from Chiquita's Friends, and another organization that we featured.
Yeah, yeah. The event that we did up at Cornell Winery, where we have the distribution, we're in the tasting room and in the retail space, which is fantastic. And it's a cute little place. If you haven't been, up in Old Agora off of Mulholland, I believe.
Yep.
Super cute, and it's a lot of fun. And yeah, we loved meeting McAdoo, and he's been a great fit for our family.
He's so cute. Yeah, definitely. I encourage you to go up to Cornell Tasting Room. They just reopened. Great little place up there. Say hi to Tim and the staff up there. They're wonderful. And you can get our wine there.
Ask for Nectar.
So I wanted to mention also that, we do not own a vineyard yet, but we work with boutique wineries in the Central Coast and the Central Valley of California. So as we mentioned, this one comes from Paso Robles. I work with John and Lisa Shaw from Almasul Winery. They're the ones who helped me, find and produce this wine, and really super nice people. They have a tasting room up in Thousand Oaks with Mike and Debbie Giovanazzo, who have Sunland Vintage. So I encourage you to stop by their tasting room, try their wines. There's so much great wine out there, not only ours, but others, and learn about their stories, and it's great.
I've never been. I think we should take a field trip.
I think we should too. I absolutely think we should. With all our free time. So let's talk a little bit about the guests that we have on today. As I mentioned, we have longstanding relationships with some organizations, All American Dachshund Rescue, Bark Party, SPCA LA. What we used to do when we released a specific varietal was we would have a big release party, and then we would find an organization to partner with so that we could kind of cross promote, and then we would give them a large donation at the event. So when we released the CCF McMurphy, this is Murphy here. This is Mika, and I'll get another story on the CCF in a minute. But anyway, Murphy was blind, and so my co-founder, she wanted to try to find an organization that was for blind dogs or something having to do with blindness. And so I remembered that we had actually ridden at the Ride for Guides for Guide Dogs of America, because my husband and I ride motorcycles. And I reached out and I said, this is who we are and we'd love to do this. And that's kind of how it all started. Through that release party, our guest, Carol Ann, who we're going to meet in a second, she actually became a wine club member. And then last year, they invited us over to their beautiful campus in Somar to be part of their casino night. And we were there telling the story of the wine, got a couple new wine club members. And it was really just great to kind of, share the story, meet everybody there. So before we bring on Stephanie and Carol Ann, let's take a look at the video of the event last year, Todd. Wow, that was such a fun event. So let's say hi to Stephanie Colman, the puppy program coordinator, and Carol Ann Heinis, the canine development lead. Ladies, welcome to Wine Time. Finally, cheers.
Yay! Technical difficulties aside, we're here. We did it.
We made it. Oh my gosh, it's so crazy.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. I'm so glad that we are finally able to connect, not in person really, but here we are. So I mentioned just a little while ago that we had a long-standing relationship, and the reason why we had partnered when we released our CCF McMurphy, which we're drinking here right now. And Carol Ann, you become a wine club member. Steph, I'm sure you're going to become a member after all of this tonight. But tell us a little bit about Guide Dogs of America. We do focus a lot on dog rescue, but this is a little bit different. At the end of the day, it's about giving back, which is, in the big scheme of things, what it's all about. Tell us about Guide Dogs.
Sure. Well, again, thank you so much for having us on this evening. So we were founded in 1948. We specialize in guide dogs, highly skilled guide dogs for people who are blind and visually impaired. And we serve clients from throughout the United States and Canada. And in an extraordinarily exciting development as of January of this year, following a merger with another service dog school called Tender Loving Canines, we also now have the ability to train and place PTSD support dogs for military veterans, autism support dogs for individuals with autism, and facility dogs, which are task-trained service dogs that are paired with a professional handler, and then that team will go on to serve a variety of different populations in need. We're always looking for volunteer puppy raisers. The assistance dogs, so the PTSD dogs, the autism dogs, and the facility dogs, through TLC, those dogs are actually trained in a rehabilitative prison program. So we always need volunteers to raise the guide dogs. We suggest you don't aspire to raise an assistance dog through TLC unless you're looking to be convicted of a crime and do 10 to 20. But if you're looking to raise a guide dog, there are plenty of opportunities there.
Wow, that's pretty amazing. And I think we were talking early in rehearsal, that partnership just January of this year?
January of this year, yeah.
That's pretty amazing. I mean, there's just, that's beautiful. So tell me a little bit, and I'm looking at this slide here that's going to come up here in a second, but, what does it take to be a puppy raiser and raise a guide dog puppy? Can anybody do it?
It really is something that, most anybody can do. The biggest thing is to have a tremendous desire to want to make a profound difference, to help change somebody's life. It's important that people have the time to really commit to raising and training a dog. There are some things that are a little bit different, like these dogs, because they have these really noble career goals, it's not the type of dog that can be left home all day while you're at work. So if you work outside of the home, you need to either have someone else in your family who is home and can be responsible for the dog during the day, or you need to have permission from your employer to take the dog with you, because the dog's sort of worldly socialization and exposure is a huge part of that dog's training. But as far as, we have families, we have empty nesters, we have newly retired folks, we have single working professionals. I mean, anybody with the desire to want to make a difference and that has the time to train, that is the ideal razor for us.
That's great. I when we were there last year at the casino night, I did meet some of the puppy raisers, and there was a really sweet lady who, when you guys were supposed to be on a few weeks ago, I believe her name is Sandy, and I believe she lives in Kentucky, but super sweet, and I'm sure you know who she is.
Absolutely.
Yes, we know her.
Wonderful.
I think she used to do cherry pies. She used to send us cherry pies. If she's on, she'll know. That was so good. Yeah, she's a dream.
She bought a case of wine for you ladies and said, make sure you take it to them and make sure that they get it. So, very, very sweet. But I can imagine that you have many wonderful volunteers like that, and that's super.
Oh, God, we do.
So tell me a little bit, I think you were just mentioning something about socialization. What exactly is socialization? Can you elaborate a little more?
Sure.
So basically, socialization is just preparing the puppy for what they're going to be doing when they're a working guide dog or a working service dog. So it's basically getting them out in the community, and they're getting exposed to traffic, to going into a store, to going to a restaurant, to just running daily errands. So we want to socialize those puppies to that when they're young, and we can really make it a positive experience. And then when they are a working guide, they're fully prepared. It's like they've been there, done that kind of, so the puppy raiser's responsibility is to make sure they not only have good house manners and good home manners, but they also have been out in the world and they've been exposed to those sort of things, which has been tough lately.
Yeah, the world has been really, really tough lately. There really aren't words for that, so we won't try to give words to that. But that's interesting. I know that you and I have connected a couple of times when I'm delivering wine or whatever, and they wear their little jackets, and so I guess they have to have those skills, because when they go on to help a visually impaired or like that, they're really their eyes and ears, right? And so they have to kind of just more than a normal dog socialization, like my dog sitting over there. They would fail. They would not be good. They just wouldn't.
Yeah.
They're
mine either, for sure. Yeah,
for the guide dog handle too. I mean, let's be honest.
So, what I've been asking a lot of the guests for obvious reasons, and it was really pertaining a lot to shelters or people with brick and mortar facilities, which I know that you do have, and a beautiful one, I might add, out there in Silmar. But how has COVID-19 really impacted your type of organization?
So it was really tough for us, because when the shelter at home went into effect, we have to think long term. So we have to think 2 years down the road, these puppies are going to be the puppies that are going to be our working guide dogs. So we couldn't just shelter and stop everything in the process, because these dogs we have to continue with that socialization. So we had to really think outside the box. We can't just say, okay, puppy, don't grow, don't age.
Right.
When all this is over, we'll come back to you. There were puppies in the home that we had to tend to. So we moved all of our classes online. Our raisers got really creative with how to socialize them without putting themselves at risk. Because of course, if you're going to go to a grocery store and you're going to try to social distance, but you have a cute little puppy with you, that's really hard to do. So
Right.
we didn't advise them to go out. Instead, we were, Google noises of traffic and play with your puppy at home. So we really had to think outside the box, because we need that socialization to go on, but we also want to keep everyone safe. And we had certain people come into the kennels and still work, but we also furloughed some dogs out into homes. So we all just kind of banded together. The puppy raisers have been phenomenal at adapting, and but we needed to keep the program on, because we want to make sure we're servicing and we have guide dogs 2 years from now.
Makes sense. It makes sense. I had a question, and I don't know if we talked about this before, but where do the puppies come from? I mean, that's like, do you have dogs there that breed, continually, or how does that system keep and flow?
So you mean the birds
we
and the
are-
bees? Is that what we're talking about?
Yes.
We are what we call, or what's referred to as a purpose-bred program, meaning we do breed our own dogs specifically, for the use as service dogs. And really, what's important within that is that it has allowed us to develop a temperament in a dog that is really, really likely to be successful.
Mm-hmm.
The really amazing thing too, and I think what's always important to point out, is that every dog that we bring into this world ends up in a fantastic home. Whether it becomes a service dog, whether it becomes adopted by the person who raised it, or whether it becomes adopted by someone out in the community who's looking to get to bring a really amazing dog into their home. Every dog ends up in a fantastic home.
That's wonderful. And Jordy, I mean, I see a lot of yellow labs and German shepherds. I guess those are kind of the better temperaments for service dog.
Most of our dogs are labs or lab golden crosses, which to most people still look pretty much like labs.
Mm-hmm.
We do some purebred goldens and some purebred German shepherds, but the majority of our dogs are the labs and the lab golden cross. Right.
Beautiful, beautiful. So that is amazing, and I love that. And it's great to know that an organization like yours exists, to help people. And it's great that these dogs find wonderful homes. So tell us a little bit more about the Tender Loving Canines program that you just said you collaborated this year.
So yeah, they have been a wonderful. I mean, we're super excited to have them join our family. They do tremendous work, both in changing the lives of the people who receive the dog, whether it's a military veteran, an individual with autism, or the many number of at-risk and in need, people from the different communities that their facility dogs serve. And the other really extraordinary thing is the rehabilitative nature of the training program, because all of the dogs are trained by incarcerated people who have the opportunity to learn a really valuable skill. And the more we get to know the TLC side of our staff, and the more that we hear stories about just how lives are changing, both on the dog side, the people who are in prison, the way it's changed, just the general vibe and feel in the wards where they have the training program in session. The wardens, are positively impacted. It really warms your heart. It's fantastic.
Wow. So, okay, if I'm correct in hearing what you're saying, so these dogs are trained, they go to the prisons and they're actually trained there, or the people come? Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So the inmates are taught very thoroughly how to successfully raise and train a dog. And then those dogs are then partnered with people with various types of disabilities.
I love that. That's just amazing.
Yeah.
The organization that we talked to, actually the last 2 weeks, they kind of focused on underprivileged and at-risk population. So, just venturing out of a traditional, I guess, rescue, if you want to call it. But it's just, again, it's so great that those organizations that are just looking at needs of people, whether they're incarcerated, whether they're homeless, whether, disability. So it's wonderful. I love that. It warms my heart.
Yeah, and it's just so speaks to how the transformative nature of dogs, how a dog can ultimately help transform so many lives.
It's true. It's absolutely, that's what they were saying last week too. They had these younger children, or not younger, but I'm going to say like teenagers. Maybe they had come from juvie hall, or just they didn't really understand about what it really took to raise a dog. So they had the program where, it was beneficial for these dogs came from the shelters, and these were, underprivileged kids. And you're right. I mean, just when they form that bond with the dog, it's life-changing for a lot of people. And I think that's wonderful. Beautiful.
Yeah. Shout out to Canine Youth Alliance. They're like good friends.
Yes.
Of ours. So
that's who we had last week. That's right.
Yay. Cheers.
Yay. Cheers. Wonderful. So I know that you said, volunteers, puppy raisers, donating as always. Ladies, let me ask you this. How are you really liking the wine? I mean, I know, Carolyn, you're a wine club member, you're biased, but Stephanie, your first time. Tell me, what do you think?
This is very good. I'm enjoying it very much. I am definitely going to have to look into becoming a wine club member.
It's pretty simple. I'm sure Carol Ann can share with you, but yeah, all the information is on the website. Just a case commitment over the course of the year. Shipments come 4 times a year: February, May, August, and November. You can do 2 bottles per shipment, 4 bottles, or 6 bottles. It's pretty simple. So yes, we'd love to have you on board.
Nice.
And the white wine is great for the summer, I have to say.
The Three Dogs White. Mm-hmm.
And I have been drinking the white wine, but tonight, since we were doing the CCF, I was like, oh, I forgot, because I haven't been drinking it because it's been warm out, how good it is.
It's really, really good. It's all good. Well, ladies, tell us a little bit where we can find you. I see you're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, but here's some information. Anything else you want to add, share, how we can help, let us know.
Sure. Yeah. So a lot of our stuff is online right now. So we've got like a puppy raiser orientation that's online, and we've, just like you guys, a lot of our fundraising events have had to be canceled. But if you go to our website, we have this really fun puppy cam, which can be kind of a time suck. So be careful. Don't go there when you have to be somewhere soon.
Right.
But you can watch all the puppies in the nursery, and like mom comes in. It's really fun to watch. But if you go to our website, you can kind of see what events we do have going on, and we are trying to sort of get creative with online events, like you guys are too. So we're kind of in the same boat when it comes to online, having to move things online.
Yep,
sure.
Gotta be flexible. Totally understand. That's why we're doing the wine time. But I want to thank you ladies so much for sharing your story, and I do hope that we can partner again when we are able to do live events. I tell all of my guests, we're here, we're creating wine, so we're able to give back, but I am so thankful that there are people like you and all these other wonderful organizations that we met who are really out there on the front line giving a voice to animals and, helping people in this day and age, just what we're living in. I mean, it's just like, we just need to be kind. Everybody needs to be kind to each other, be kind to animals, drink lots of wine, and I think we'll all be good.
Yeah. We do it during the day, but then you make us feel better at the end of the day.
I'm glad I can do that. So cheers, lady.
It's good teamwork.
Thank you so much for joining, and we will definitely be in touch soon. I also want to let everybody know that, we were supposed to have guide dogs on in May, but I've mentioned several times now, we've had our technical difficulties. So there were some people who did buy wine in the month of May, and I've already given a donation to guide dogs because that was specific, to you guys. But you can continue to buy wine, and if you are specifically wanting us to donate a portion of your order, let me know, and we'll make sure that does go to guide dogs. You can go to Nectar of the Dogs Wine to check out the wine and order there, or click shop now. Not right now because you're watching here. But yeah, we encourage you to go and buy some wine. As I mentioned, the 30% case discount is going to end at the end of June, so get there quickly. You can stay up to date on all things Nectar of the Dogs Wine by following us on Instagram at Nectar of the Dogs Wine. And, I have to say, we're probably going to have a couple more episodes. I think we do have a couple more people booked until July, but we'll probably take a little bit of a break as we get back to our normal work lives, I'm going to say, but we'll see what happens. We'll keep you posted on that. But if you are interested in joining, do let us know. You can email me or Monica at nectarofthedogswine.com. So Monica, feel like I'm always yelling, Monica. Before we get into this next thing, I want to just also let people know we can only ship wine in the states of California and Nevada. But if you live outside the state of California or Nevada and you don't drink wine, we have these beautiful candles that we create from the recycled wine bottles, recycle, reuse. They come in 2 different sizes. We have the large one. Hey, Ben. This is 140 burn hours, and then the small one is 110 burn hours. So they are 100% soy. They're clean burning. They smell so good. This one is crackling firewood. This one is sweet peach. But if you go to the website, there's a few different scents on there, and we can ship these anywhere in the U.S. So drink wine for a great cause, or buy some candles for a great cause. And That's all I'm going to say about that. Monica, events.
Only time will tell. Hopefully those stick, but in the meantime, we do have an alternative if you would like to try the wine. We have virtual wine tastings available. We just ask for a 4-bottle minimum purchase. You see all of the varietals that we currently have available. You go ahead and pick out the 4 that you'd like, or buy a case. It is 30% off right now till the end of June, so do it now before it's over. And then get in touch with Melanie or I and set up a time, a date for us to join you on Zoom, FaceTime, Skype, whatever works for you. And we will talk you through each varietal that you've purchased, tell you about the wines, tell you about our story, and of course, give back to dog rescue organizations.
Of course, give back to dog rescue organization. And these dudes finally woke up, sort of, kind of, not really, but because this wouldn't be complete without another technical difficulty. I think we missed the first part of what you were saying, Mon, but I believe it was that we're hopefully, fingers crossed, going to be at the Ventura Wine Walk the first weekend in August, and fingers crossed again, the next weekend will be at LA Wine Fest down in Long Beach.
LA Wine Fest. That's right.
So we'll keep everybody posted on that. Hopefully it happens. And don't forget, join in next week. Join us next week, August. God, what? Okay. Join us next week, June 26th. We're going to be featuring Allison Eastwood from Eastwood Ranch Foundation. She was recommended to us through Geraldine from Chiquita's Friends. So we're going to be really excited to learn about her foundation organization. Look, they're awake. They're paying attention.
They're awake. It's amazing.
It's amazing. Oh, we made it through. So Carol Ann, if you're still there, I would like to say thank you for joining. And if Carol Ann is not there, then she's there because, there she is. And hopefully we can hopefully hear her. Yes. Carol Ann, are you there?
Yes.
Okay. Yay, we made it.
I am. Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you for having us. And
Absolutely.
I am a lifelong member. I know I will be.
Okay.
This is going to be the most entertaining wine time we've had yet.
The most entertaining one we've had. I can't wait to go back and watch the records. So yes, thank you again. Thanks, Stephanie. Wonderful to the Guide Dogs of America. We'll be in touch soon. Monica, always a pleasure, my co-host. So ladies, stay safe. Have a wonderful weekend. I know we're kind of getting out there, reopening and whatnot, but we still need to just stay safe. Be kind. Be kind to people. Be kind to your animals.
And drink more wine.
And drink more wine. Buy some wine. So may dogs continue to bless your life. Cheers, ladies.
Cheers.
Cheers.